We'll talk after.
I'll give you James Cook.
No, see, now you know your starting lineup. You're like Charles now.
What the fuck was that?
What happened?
I don't know.
Does it work? What's up, everybody? Welcome back. The boys are live. It's Thanksgiving Day
We here.
today.
I think I might upload it tomorrow.
It's Thanksgiving Eve.
Just so that everybody's ready for the long weekend.
Yeah, correct. And we want you guys to be spending time with family.
Yeah.
Don't be listening to us jamokes. Just go
Or
enjoy your family.
Or toss it on the tunes on the drive over.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, toss it on the tunes. Listen, do whatever, comment, do whatever you want us to do. So yeah, we're live. This week we're only talking basketball. It's all hoops.
Only hoops because it's feast week.
It is feast week. And last week all we talked about was football.
It's probably we talked NBA a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit here and there.
It's probably the biggest week of the college basketball season outside of
March Madness.
When March Madness gets rolling.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Would you agree?
Yeah, it's got to be up there. I think this is always a good test, especially the last few years with a lot of transfers and like new guys coming in, and like obviously there's always freshmen that are literally projected to be God's gifts, which they're very good. But it's like this is when you kind of see which teams are legit.
Don't start backpedaling.
Not backpedaling. I'm just saying.
God's gift. But they're good.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. But it's always interesting to see this week because they're actually playing. Like the matchups are very good. Like you have top 10 matchups. You have teams that are projected to be very good.
And the other benefit is games are literally all day.
Yeah, you can wake up.
Which means that, I mean, nobody's working this week anyways, except for us because we're good employees. But
yes,
he got basketball going on all day.
The nice thing is for a lot of these, you can have. What was that?
I was gonna say, and the games start at like 11:30
a.m.
p.m. Well, and 11:30 p.m.
Yeah, because you're in Maui. There's a Maui Invitational.
Yeah.
So Maui's, we've talked about Hawaii and being 5 hours behind. So yeah, it's definitely.
So it's literally all day.
Yeah, it's great. It's kind of similar to March Madness, where you can just wake up, watch hoops,
and
just work on the side,
right,
and focus on your hoops. So yeah, it's good.
Okay,
there it is.
All right, well, let's start college basketball.
College basketball, yeah. Big time matchups this week. I will say, watching these games, it's always interesting because you do kind of find out about other teams too. Obviously Memphis put their name. You can put your name on the map by beating elite teams. I mean, Memphis beats UConn then.
Many teams have not played anybody up to this point.
Right, this is like you said.
Unless you're like one of the top teams and you're playing in the showcases at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
A lot of times, like as it gets to Thanksgiving week, this is when you start to play in different tournaments or whatnot, and you play against teams that you wouldn't otherwise play against.
Yeah.
You're past the point of just getting the feet wet in the first couple games playing against crappy teams.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, Thanksgiving week, we're in a tournament. We're playing whatever, you win and you move on, and in theory would play a better team because they also won. So like this is the first week that you're actually playing significantly solid competition.
Yeah, and the nice thing about these matchups is they're not usually interdivision, or interconference. They're like
for sure
different conferences, which is set up for
at least at the beginning of the tournaments. Like obviously if two teams in the same conference win 2 games and are both in the championship, well,
you can't really predict
what
that.
it is.
Yeah,
but
the first games and the big games, like the first games of these tournaments, like you said, are always good competition because, like you said, you're not going to ever see that team again until maybe March Madness.
Right.
And so you do find out a lot about a team. I mean, UConn losing to Memphis is probably shocking. I do think with a lot of these great teams that were great last year, it does seem that like they've had a lot of players that obviously went to the NBA, transferred out, some transferred in, and I think it's just that same period of, even with transfers who are top tier talent, you still have to get used to playing together. Like it's still different.
Yeah.
Like you can go be the best scorer at your one school, and you come over here and it's like, all right, you got to figure out how to gel with these guys. So it's very interesting. I don't know if you saw it, but Dan Hurley, technical foul.
Yeah, I did see that.
Oh my God. I mean, I will say this.
It's pretty weak technical, I thought.
First of all, it was a weak technical. Second of all, the call was bad. I understand it. But also at the same time, that's like the most crucial time of the game.
40 seconds left in overtime.
Yeah, in overtime.
Yeah, not great.
And so it's like, yeah, you're now now you're giving them 4 free throws. Granted, he made all 4 free throws, so tip your cap, but you can't give that up. I understand it was a horrible call, but there was also like he was on the court yelling at the ref
Yeah.
and said some words, and it was like, dog.
Yeah,
I understand the passion. I understand you're upset, but you can't do that. I do understand it was a very bad call, both ways.
but
There has to be some leeway, but at the same time, probably a little bit smarter from a veteran coach. So we'll see. I just don't know about. This kind of shows the holes in UConn now.
Yep.
Big time.
I think they do have a lot of transfers
Mm-hmm.
or / new players. They really only have 2 guys that are returners.
Caravan and Diarra.
Caravan, Diarra. I think that's it. Was Solo Ball there last
I
year?
don't
or
think
did
he was there. He
transfer?
transferred in, I thought.
Okay. You got McNeely, Aiden Mahaney.
Mahaney's kind of been,
Yeah.
yeah,
Whatever.
not really that great. In the first game, he almost. They were saying something after the game. They talked to what's his name? Who's the Memphis coach? Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
And he literally was just like straight up. He was like, "Yeah, to be honest, I told my team, whoever Mahaney's guarding, go at him, 1-on-1. I don't care who you are, go at him."
Yeah.
And he literally exposed him.
Yeah.
So it's just like he's a great player, but it's different when you come up to the big boys.
Oh yeah.
So
The big dogs.
they have some time to gel. They obviously have very talented players.
What's your caution level on UConn?
Caution level.
Yeah. They've lost 2 in a row now.
2 in a row.
Colorado and Memphis is like, okay.
I think Memphis is a good team.
They're a solid team. They're still undefeated. They've beaten ranked teams. They have talented players.
Yeah.
Then they go and lose to Colorado today. Probably a few less talented players.
Yeah. That's a nice way of saying that.
Yeah. Not to say they're not talented, but just a few less.
Yeah.
So what's your caution level?
I would say out of 10, it's probably at like a 3.5, 4. I think the Colorado loss bumped it up a lot. I will say this: Memphis, I think from watching these last few games with them, I think they're a pretty solid team.
Okay. Like if you had to say what seed they'd be in March Madness right now, what would you say?
I would say from a 5 to a 6.
Okay.
I would say pretty high, which is decently high.
That's pretty high, especially for a team that starts the year out unranked.
Yeah, unranked. I do think they're good. They have some good transfers, but I also will say the caution level after losing to Colorado, I didn't realize this. Colorado had their top 5 scorers either transferred or went to the NBA.
Yeah.
So you have brand new players.
Yep.
You're replacing your top 5 scorers.
Which, to be fair, UConn, fairly similar situation.
Yeah, but the difference is I think the hopes for UConn was like, all right, you guys should still be top tier.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the caution level is probably 3.5. I think they'll figure it out.
3.5 out of 10. So
Out of 10,
you're
so-
not worried.
Not too worried, no.
Okay. So what seed would you say UConn will be?
I still think UConn will be a 2 or a 3 in the
Okay.
tournament. I don't think they'll be a 1. I don't know if that's a hot
So
take.
you're
I don't
just-
think that's a hot take.
So you're
but-
just saying like they were that highly ranked at the beginning of the year because they're back-to-back national champs.
yeah. The
And-
hopes are
but
high.
they really should be in like the 10-ish range.
I think after this tournament, I don't know where they'll fall to. I think they'll be more fairly
they just
ranked.
lost to 2.
So I will say
ranked
this: I
teams.
think they'll probably fall more drastically than they should. I would probably say a fair ranking is from 10 to 15 for them.
I would say they'll be in the mid-teens.
Yeah, so I think that's still a
I
little
think that's
lower.
a little
I think
high.
they'll finish in the 10 to 15.
Okay.
Because I just like you said, I think the back-to-back national championships is huge, but then the whole team is different.
Right.
Well, for the most part, like you just said. So
Yes.
I would say I'm not too worried about them. I think they'll figure it out. They obviously have a great coach who needs to keep his head on straight, but they'll also have enough. The competition will be
He's just
elite for
fiery.
them, so you'll play good teams, so you can obviously make up for these bad losses. And a bad loss now is a lot better than a bad loss in 2 months. Yeah,
I think for basketball, it's not as big of a deal because they play so many games.
yeah.
So
We'll
I
see.
mean, a bad loss now versus a bad loss in 2 months, it's still a bad loss.
It is still a bad loss
You have enough games to
to make up for it.
yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so let's run through. I don't think we've gone through like outside of maybe the first week of like preseason.
I think it was preseason rankings. I
Yeah,
don't
we
even think
went
it was
through the
rankings.
All right, so top 10 teams, we can just stick it there. Kansas, number 1, significantly number 1.
And I think deservingly
51
so.
first place votes.
I think deservingly so.
Out of
62?
62? That is such a weird number.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so
I don't know
apparently
where they came
there's
up with that.
62 first place votes.
What's weird is the coaches poll has 31. So 31 and 62. So maybe they added some people?
Yeah,
Wow.
that is weird.
But it's 62.
Okay, so 62 first place votes. Kansas is getting 51 of them.
Yeah.
Significantly up there.
Yeah.
UConn has been number 2. Gonzaga 3. Auburn 4. Iowa State 5. Keep in mind, Auburn just played Iowa State last night.
Beat them. Yep.
Auburn won by
Maui
2 points.
Invitational.
Basically a buzzer beater. Scored with 2 seconds left.
Close game.
So
right down to the wire. So yeah, I mean that. It's like you said. It's still good competition. I think Gonzaga returned a few of their guys. Also, I think they'll be solid. I think they actually play. Aren't they? Did they? This might be the dumbest thing I've ever said. Oh, no, they're still in the WCC. Why do I think they changed? I think the biggest knock
they're
always
going to.
they're next year, is it right?
I think so, yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing is these games, at least these games for Gonzaga are always bigger because the competition, they always will win, or not always. They will always be at the top of the WCC. I mean, it used to be a competition between them in the same areas and stuff, but they'll always be at the top 2 or 3 teams in the WCC. So I'm not too worried about it, but it's nice to see when they play other teams, like they'll play top 10 teams, see what the competition level is. That's always, I feel like Gonzaga's knock is, well, they don't play anybody.
It's
Until
their
March
knock
Madness.
if they don't have, if they lose multiple games, like as the season goes on,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But this year it seems like they did or tried to do a better job of playing solid non-conference teams.
Are they going to the Big 12?
Maybe.
This is that was dumb. I should probably know that, but is it the Big 12?
They're changing conferences.
I mean, technically they only play UConn and Kentucky back to back.
I thought they were moving to like the
Is it-
Pac-12 or something.
Is it the Pac-12?
I think
That might be right. They might have been established.
they moved them over when they were adding that new conference, basically like refilling their conference. There we go.
Yeah, Pac-12. Nice.
Boom. Let's go, baby. We know something. But Gonzaga, they already played Baylor. They smashed them, and then they still play Kentucky and UConn and UCLA. So like big schools.
Yeah. So I
Big
mean,
names.
they're starting out hot. I think it's like I said, it's good to know where you stand, and
Yep.
obviously the competition level throughout the season will not be as strong for them. But I still think they're always going to be fine to me.
Yep.
They'll be fine.
You got Houston at 6, Tennessee at 7, Kentucky at 8, Alabama at 9, and Marquette at 10.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I mean, obviously rounded out with Duke and North Carolina in the top 12, but we're only doing top 10. I do think Kentucky will always be an interesting team to me. Obviously, new coach, played very well against Duke,
Mm-hmm.
beat Duke. Houston defensive team, big time games.
Playing Alabama right now.
Alabama right now, yeah, they'll always be fine too. Their biggest thing is always just having to score and keep up with that. They lost to Auburn earlier on in the year. That was actually, wasn't that the game? That was when Auburn got in the fight
On the way
on
to
the there,
the
right? That was to that game.
Yes.
And so yeah,
In
they'll
the
be big
plane.
time. Yeah, on the plane. Yeah, wild.
Mm-hmm.
Good team chemistry. But yeah, I think being part of the Big 12 will obviously help them out and they had better competition because they were kind of the same way
Up until last year.
up until last year. They were the same thing. Like you knew they were dominant. They were a
Yeah.
top 10, 15 team. They might slip up once or twice, but their defense is just always elite. It's what they're built on.
Correct.
I feel like so.
And big news coming out of college basketball today. They just got the number
Five-star
one
guy, right?
Yeah, the number 1 center in the country
Yeah, 7
for
footers.
next year.
Yeah.
Number 1 center. They also have 2 other 5 stars.
Really? Coming in?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Good recruiting.
I mean, they got 3 5 stars coming,
So it should be decent.
and I
yeah.
think a 4-star.
They
So
lost a few people, didn't they?
3 5-stars and a 4-star. Pretty good recruiting.
Yeah. It's a good start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marquette.
I don't know
Number
a lot
10.
about Marquette, but that's good to see. Shaka Smart.
They beat Purdue.
Is that what their big one was?
Yeah.
Yeah, they smoked them by 18.
Correct. They lost a few guys. They lost 2 guys to the NBA, Kolek and Iguodaro.
Yeah.
So I've had to kind of figure it out from there.
And Kolek was there forever. I thought Kolek was one of the guys that was going to go in, and then I thought he was going to potentially pull his name out because he had one more year with the COVID year.
Did he?
But he's still playing. I mean, obviously Cam Jones is their guy.
Yeah.
Good player and stuff. So
Cam Jones stepping up.
yeah, I mean, they got a decent, tough schedule, I think, coming up, but I think Marquette will still be fine. Obviously, a big win against Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
Being in the Big East, you kind of have, I mean, Big East, surprisingly, St. John's has looked pretty good. Should have beat Baylor, lost to them on a buzzer beater 3. So I think the Big 12 will actually be decent. UConn. Creighton is a little but so those 4 teams will probably
Creighton.
still run show.
4-1.
Yeah, 4-1 just hasn't looked as dominant, actually.
But they lost today, I think. So 4-2.
I think they're a little bit lower. They got smoked by 18 to SDSU.
Oof.
But still early, so we'll see what happens.
Didn't you pick them to make your Final Four?
This year?
Yeah.
I don't think I picked Creighton. No.
You did?
North Carolina. I don't think I picked Creighton.
We're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to run the tape, but hopefully not Creighton. I don't know. Creighton were my boys last year.
I know. That's
And
why.
shout out to all you guys who know who you are. You guys are welcome for that play if you took it. But Creighton was the boys last year, but they lost like 3 or 4 players. Trey Alexander gone.
Not Kalkbrenner.
Yeah, call them away.
They got Ashworth.
They do, yeah, they do have some players. But
Still there.
yeah, okay, big impact.
All right, so let's go a few. I'm going to give you a few conferences.
Okay.
And tell me who you think's going to win them.
Okay, we're just starting with the big ones.
We're just doing the main ones.
Okay.
SEC.
Starting with the SEC.
Yep. You got Auburn. You got Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama. All 4 of those teams are in the top 10 ranked currently.
Yep.
You also got Florida, Arkansas, Texas A&M. They're in the SEC, aren't they?
Yep. They just lost today, though. So
Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
So dang, this is not. I will say this.
All of those teams.
So the SEC is not just a football school.
All of those teams
is pretty
are in the
obvious
top
right
25.
Yeah. If I had to pick one team, I would say Alabama's going to win that.
Okay.
I think Alabama can make a run for it.
You think?
Yeah, Mark Sears dominant. Grant Nelson.
0 points last game.
Hey, yeah, we're talking one game. He's just trying to get his people involved. But I do think Alabama will take care of business. That's a pretty.
That's a deep.
That's
conference.
a dominant conference.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so you got.
Remember when Texas was good too back in the day in basketball?
Back in the day.
Well, they're fine. Yeah.
All right, so you got Alabama winning that one. How many teams do you think make the tournament?
Make the tournament.
Yep. Think about this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They find one person.
Yeah.
I think 8.
You just counted to
No,
9.
but there's 9. I'm saying 8.
So then you're dropping it down
I'm
one?
dropping 1 down. I don't know who it will be. But I'm going to say 8.
Probably Ole Miss.
Either Ole Miss or Mississippi State.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say 8.
Okay.
8 is my number.
All right. What about the Big 12?
Ooh.
I mean, it's 2 horse race.
The Big 12?
Yes. Kansas, Houston. It always is.
Yeah.
I guess technically you could probably throw.
I mean,
in
Baylor
Iowa State.
used to be. Yeah. Iowa State.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Iowa State. But like for winning the conference,
I think Kansas. I've also said this.
Kansas has won a bajillion years in a row up until last year, and Houston won it. So, I mean, if you say anybody but one of those 2 schools, then you don't know basketball.
Yeah, I would say Kansas is the team to beat. I think Kansas is. I mean, it's probably the low hanging fruit to pick, but they have been and are the most dominant team so far.
Pick it.
Arizona's very disappointing. I don't think they're as good. They don't have any big guys. And Caleb Love is just kind of going the wrong way, I think.
It's been there for a while.
Yeah, Baylor, I think, will kind of figure it out. Cincinnati, I did not know they were ranked. Okay.
I didn't know they were in the Big 12.
Well, now we do. There's like 20 teams in here.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think it's still got to run through Kansas.
Yep.
So,
ACC. You got
North Carolina.
Duke, North Carolina.
That's what I'm saying. I have North Carolina. I believe I have North Carolina in my Final Four instead of Creighton. So I'm taking North Carolina to win that. I will say you can tell they're definitely trying to figure out how to fill the Armando Bacot hole. And there's a lot more pressure on RJ Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just
What do you have? 30 points last game.
30 points, and he's still only shooting like 40% from the field. It's not as great.
He's probably shooting a
The
lot.
2 point.
outside
I will
shots,
say the 2 point guards are basically controlling that. But I still think North
which
Carolina.
is a good thing to have in March.
100%. You need good point guard play. That'll be a conversation for a different podcast.
So you really think North Carolina is going
it's
to
going to be
win?
Duke? Yeah, I do. I don't know why. I think it's But you want to talk about a 2-horse race?
Yeah.
That's a 2-horse race.
All right. So who do you think should be 3? I have 2 teams that I'm between.
2 teams that you're between?
Yeah.
No, not Stanford. Pittsburgh. I think potentially. Well, I don't really know. I'm going to go with the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Not really sure why. I just like them. And I'm going to go with Clemson because Clemson had my boy last year, PJ Hall.
Yeah, I think Clemson is
a solid team.
Clemson is in the conversation. My other team is Notre Dame.
Okay. Surprising a few people.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
They got this guard that's just dominating.
Who does? Oh, Notre Dame?
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Hunter Sal's.
Hunter Sal's decent.
Yeah, he's alright. Decent player. You don't know his name. Give me a second.
Burton, I think it is.
His last name?
Yeah. Yeah, click that. Marcus Burton. It should be in the...
I'm just going to go to the roster. This guy?
Yeah.
Sophomore.
He's hooping right now. Look at his stats.
Whoa, look at this guy. Whoa. Ooh.
Can you say his name?
No, I'm not going to try.
No, I need you to.
It's Nikita
Yep.
Constant Novolsky. Oh, that's not really that hard. Sir Muhammad. What do you know about Sir? That's not that bad, actually. This is your guy? Yeah, 21 points. Dang!
I know. He's hoping.
Where'd he come from? Has he always been there? Yeah. Here's a question. If you go to Notre Dame, obviously very intelligent school, we both never applied, but we probably would have got in if we wanted.
Probably.
But if you go to Notre Dame or you go to like one of these schools that's academic, like would you really think a lot of people transfer out of there? Like your academics is literally, if you have a degree from Notre Dame.
Yeah, but they're not thinking about that. A lot of them.
Well, I will say this, Chris. Gonna be honest. Out of all these people, what if there's 20 people? I would say 18. The over-under is 18 and a half that care about academics.
Okay.
Your boy Marcus might be one that doesn't.
Hey.
It doesn't matter. He's hooping.
Watch out.
Yeah. So, okay. So Notre Dame's up there. It's a team to watch. They still have the same coach?
Strawberry.
Oh, no. Different guy.
I think his name is.
Damn it. I want to say Elon.
It's fine.
Who? It'll be a good matchup tonight. Tuesday. Rutgers is a good team.
Rutgers is an okay team.
Okay team. I mean, good competition-wise.
Rutgers just lost to Kennesaw State.
Yeah, and a buzzer beater. But they lost to Elon.
It's still Kennesaw State.
Elon. All right. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would still say that the ACC is truthfully the definition of a 2-horse race. I'm sorry.
What happens if a different team wins?
Wow. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. That would be sad.
All right, let's move to the Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten's got a few teams this year. Obviously, this is the first year. UCLA's in there, obviously, from...
UCLA still working their way back.
Yeah, weren't they in your... Were they your team?
No. Yeah, they're my team, but they're not, like...
Well, they're your
top
team for different reasons.
They're not, like, the top of the top expected to win the conference.
No, I don't think so.
But I do enjoy UCLA.
I think Purdue is a solid team. I know they'll have their hiccups. I don't know if the Big Ten, I will say, is quote unquote as strong.
No,
I think they might have.
Not. You can take the quotes out. They're not strong.
Yeah, maybe 4 teams make it.
4.
I would say
They're
Wisconsin.
gonna have more than 4 teams.
You think so?
Yes.
I just
it's one of the 3 biggest conferences in the country. We're gonna have more than 4 teams.
Illinois solid, Indiana solid, Wisconsin solid, Purdue solid, UCLA potentially solid, Oregon is Oregon good? Solid. Their court sucks if they still have that same court.
Probably do.
But and we'll say this for all you people out there, you locals, Minnesota 5 wins already.
Okay.
So we're a little bit less than a third of the way there. I think we had a friend. I'm not going to name his name, but I'm pretty sure he gave the Gophers like 4 total wins. Andrew Paul said they would get like 6 or 7.
Not going to name his name, but
Oh, sorry. Andrew Paul said there would be like 6 or 7 wins total.
I think you had 17, and I think I had
15 or 16. It was within 1.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. They love playing close games.
against shitty teams.
Hey, play who we play. We do get to play the Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yep.
So,
They're probably not going to make the tournament, but Ohio State's decent.
no, yeah, Ohio State's decent too. I guess probably closer to 6 teams. Would you say 6.5 over under? Making the NCAA tournament, not NIT, March Madness tournament.
Probably, I was. You
Okay.
want to know what's funny is
15.
I had 6 teams in my head.
So 6.5 is a pretty good line.
It's a
Do
great
you think
line.
one team could sneak in there? Because if you had 6 teams and I said 5.5, you'd be like, okay, over.
Yeah, I would say over for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's 5 or less. It's just that I think it's 6 or above.
Okay.
So
that's 6.5.
Put me on the alt spread of 5.5.
Yep, alt spread. There it is.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the Big Ten. I will say this. I think Purdue wins the Big Ten.
Okay.
I will say this. Watching Wisconsin, good team. Solid team, but I just think Purdue will. They have another 7-foot guy.
Yeah, but isn't he out for the year?
Did he get hurt? I know he got hurt. I don't know if he's out for the year.
I thought he was out for the year.
So
Yeah.
that'll hurt him.
That kind of breaks that.
Defeats the
Theory.
purpose. Yeah, but I mean, it's still crazy that they always have 7-foot guys.
I mean,
That's
it's
like-
like they recruit them or something.
Yeah, maybe other teams should try it out.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Big East. That would probably be the last one. UConn, Marquette, Creighton,
I don't
Xavier.
think Creighton, St. John's. St. John's was ranked for a little bit. They had 2 tough losses.
Yep.
I think I'm still going to go with UConn. I think UConn figures it out. I do think Marquette will kind of push them. I think Marquette could very easily finish in the top 10, if not top 15. I know they're ranked 10 now. They'll have a few slip-ups, but this is a conference I would say that 5 teams aren't going to make it. I think St. John's makes the tournament. Creighton,
Really?
UConn, Xavier, and Marquette. I do.
No Providence Friars?
No Friars for me. They lost that point guard kid, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, he's solid.
You click on their
13.
who's their lead scorer right now?
Bensley Joseph. Bensley Joseph is their all-around guy.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Assists per game, 4.
Okay.
Okay. Abdul Rahim.
That's their coach?
No, that's a player.
Oh.
Sorry, that's a player. But why does that sound familiar?
Abdur Rahim.
He's a transfer, right? Has to be.
No, his dad was in the NBA.
Georgia. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Good call,
Played
Chris.
for the Hawks.
Okay, Chris, look at you.
Okay, so you're going with UConn.
Yeah, Providence has 4 guys on their roster that they don't even have a picture for.
Not
I
a
don't
good
like
sign.
that. Yeah, that means that's just not a good
That's
sign.
a really bad sign.
So I would say UConn. We'll figure it out and win that the Big East.
Okay.
So
And you have 5.
5.
All right.
Line
There you
4.5.
Oh, sure. That's convenient.
Yeah. That's how it works.
All right. Let's go to the NBA.
NBA, we're in season tournament, is that what it's called? In season tournament?
NBA Cup.
NBA Cup. We've talked about this briefly. Is this the last game?
No,
2 more? No, they got to play 4.
it should be 4 games.
4 games. Okay.
And most teams have played 2.
2. So they're playing on Tuesday night. Some teams are.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think, it makes the competition better. We've talked about this. It kind of hurts. I mean, obviously, the National Blowout Association isn't as prevalent.
Not on.
Actually, more prevalent, I
some
think.
games on NBA Cup
Yeah, because the points matter.
when they're playing the extra bad teams.
Yeah.
The Rockets played the Trailblazers in the last game and they smoked them.
Are the Rockets decent?
Yes.
But also at the same time, the Trailblazers are very bad.
I mean they beat the Wolves back to back, but
And that's going to
Not
be my
so
next
much.
question.
yeah, not so
Timberwolves. Are we worried?
much. I mean,
Chris,
they're
As you are, I would say
they are
in our friend group,
sucking.
you're probably in the top 3 percentile for biggest Timberwolves fan.
All right,
And
sweet.
and one of our friends
Nice.
works for the Timberwolves. I would say he's probably number 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait,
I would say you're number 4. 3 or 4.
top 3%.
No,
Or-
top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3. Because I would say it's probably, you, Matt, Paul, Andrew Novak. Right?
Okay, so order 2, 3, 4.
I would say, I low key think Matt is number 2.
Oh man, okay.
Because
Matt,
Matt-
shout out.
I mean, that bro goes to every game.
He's been to a
I mean, he
number
goes
of
to a lot of the games. He puts in the time. He puts in the work.
them.
I would say Matt. Ooh, Paul. I don't know. This is the hardest part is I don't know enough if Matt can watch the games at home.
See, I can't.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think Paul, because I know Paul can.
Okay.
Paul has that. So I'm going to actually go Paul 3. Sorry, Chris, you're 4.
Dang.
You're 3.5. I'll give you 3.5.
I don't want handouts.
Okay, well, you got one.
That's pretty tough, though.
But no, I will say this. You guys are all obviously big Timberwolves fans. Obviously, you guys go to a lot of games. Shout out Andrew Novak. And I guess we'll throw Emma in there. Are you worried, Chris? They have not looked.
They've looked terrible.
Their losses have been very bad.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out, I think.
Okay.
It's tough
That's a
because
nice
I
way to
feel
say
like I know far less this year about just like the ins and the outs of what's happening. But they definitely need to start to figure it out like sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I just think it's hard sometimes. I think maybe this is just looking at them. They play up and down to their competition. I mean,
They're losing to crappy teams.
I mean, you lose to the Trailblazers twice. You lost to the Spurs, Mavericks, sure. But like you look at these other games, like Kings, you've played them close. Okay, they're not as great this year. Nuggets, you're within 3. Like the wins haven't necessarily been as like substantial, if that's a good word to use. Like they're not blowing out teams. I mean, they blew out the Trailblazers. You blew out the Bulls. Blew out the Hornets. Sure. So
We
3
played
of
the
the games.
Trailblazers 3 times already.
And we're 1 and 2 against them.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Well, we lost back-to-back days.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then you lose to the Celtics. You almost win that one. You lose to the Raptors. So literally, out of our losses, Lakers, playoff team, Mavericks, playoff team, Spurs, no. Heat, probably a playoff team on the edge. Blazers, no. Raptors, no. Celtics, yes. So you've lost a decent amount to non-playoff teams. Look at that. Arizona State. Dogs.
Because they're a Big 12 champ.
So yeah, are you worried? I mean, I'll phrase it. I don't know. You probably saw the clip. I saw the clip all the time on TV, Twitter, whatever. Of the Julius Randle BS.
About what?
About how Gobert, I should say Rudy and Julius Randle. Gobert was posting up.
Yeah, I wanted him to pass the ball.
100%. Pass the ball to him. He's working.
Right.
But then also at the same time, so then your next thing was, you don't pass it to him. He walks out of the lane, gets a 3-second call.
I would be pissed too if I was Rudy.
And then the next play, though, what I'm saying is the next play, he goes down and it's pointless. We're down by like 5 or 2 seconds left.
Right.
And he just absolutely
Chucks it.
rifles the ball at his knees.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, has Rudy gotten better at catching balls? Yeah, but he's not catching that.
Right.
And it was like, dude, what are you? And then you just walked off the court. Like,
He was just trying to prove a point.
100%, 1,000%. But that's not what you can't have that.
No.
The
It was
chemistry,
ridiculous.
especially when you're a newer guy, quote unquote newer. Obviously, you're a good player. You've had great games. But like as a newer guy, like you can't just do that.
It was also a pretty tough look that Ant went screaming at Gobert.
Rudy.
It's like, what are we doing here? He's wide open underneath directly underneath the basket.
Yeah.
That's 2 points.
Right.
Just passing the ball.
Yeah. Well, I think his yelling was more so like, hey, I understand he didn't pass you the ball. And maybe looking back on it, he probably shouldn't have done it, but it was also like, dog, just don't lollygag out of the lane. Like, give us a possession. I mean, I get both sides of the story. But at the same time, at the same time, a little cut off there. At the same time, I do think it is one of those things where it's like, guys, figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it stems from probably also at the same time not winning as many games as you should. Probably not playing as well as a team. Frustrations there. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I definitely am. I mean, I'm not as avid of a fan, but I think it's definitely worse, especially from a team last year who I think we all had very high hopes for this year.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of knew that it was going to take a little time before the season, the trade happened, so it's pretty tough.
Right away, so. No, sorry. He's a beast. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's crazy because you kind of look at it like Celtics obviously dominant, but the other teams are like, we've talked about them before, like the Cavaliers were undefeated. They lose to the Celtics, but then they don't skip a beat. Mm-hmm. They win the next few. I mean, it just is crazy to see these teams putting it together, especially them.
You kind of expect it though.
Yeah. I mean, they're just hot. They're literally hot.
They have a very well made up roster as well.
Yeah, and their teams are playing well. What's crazy, I think, what's even crazier is Orlando Magic, 9-1. Banchero's still hurt.
Yeah.
Like, that's a team I think that's surprising.
They're not 9-1.
9-1 in the last 10.
Oh.
In the last 10, sorry. Obviously, 12-7 overall. But still. So 9-1. So with Banchero, you're 3-6.
Yeah, Franz has picked his play up.
Yeah, he's had to. I think Jalen Suggs is actually decent too, but
he's up and down.
Yeah, no, 100%. We're not looking for consistency.
The only way that he hits his PRA line is if he makes
here we go.
Look at
this. Yeah. If PRA is points, rebounds, assists for you non-addicts, gambling addicts.
If he shoots well from 3, he'll hit it. If he doesn't, then that's the only way he's been getting his points. So then he goes under. So if you think he's going to make a lot of 3s, over PRA.
That's also why some would say he's up and down is because streaky shooter.
Yeah. Very streaky.
I will say this, the other team, I know we've talked about them and I don't know if there's any hope. I mean, I know it's early. The 76ers.
There's not a lot.
They played one game with all 3 of those guys, Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid, and I think George got hurt during that game.
1 or 2.
And now they're sitting out more games. Like they're both out. They play Wednesday.
He's out, yeah.
No, and so is Embiid.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think...
But they got Jared McCain.
They do have Jared McCain.
He's been balling.
100%. No, that's what's crazy is he has been. He's been playing well.
He's the only reason why they're semi-decent.
I think the hate on him was, what, because he made TikToks?
Yeah.
That was it?
Hey, if he's balling like he is, do whatever you want. They need a little bit of, like, lighthearted spirit in that locker room. They got a bunch of guys that are just destined to fail.
Yeah, their team is really not set up.
Paul George and Embiid, they're 2 sorry dudes.
2 sorry dudes who are, I don't want to say soft because that's kind of a rude word, but they are, I mean, I don't think Embiid will ever be the same.
Tell us how you really feel, David.
No, that was soft. I'm not going to tell you how I really feel, but I'm just saying.
That was soft of your description.
Yeah, just trying to be a nice guy. I mean, Embiid's played 4 games.
Right.
Paul George has played 8. Tyrese Maxey's played 10. You played 1 or 2 games together.
Yeah.
It's pretty tough, and you're 3-13.
Pretty tough.
4th in the Atlantic Division. That would be last.
All right, so we're halfway through the. I guess some teams have played 3 NBA Cup games.
Yeah.
You think
do we have like a sheet that says? Keep going.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, is that on?
Group A on ESPN. Yeah, Group A. Magic and Knicks are 2-0. It's basically between those 2.
Okay.
So they'll have to play.
They haven't played each other yet?
Well, no. If they're both 2-0, then
that's a very good call.
That's statistically
impossible.
Yep. Yes. So it's between those 2 for Group A. Group B, Bucks Pistons.
Interesting.
are
Pistons
undefeated.
2-0.
Heat are playing the Bucks right now, and the Bucks are winning.
Yeah, kind of getting smacked. Giannis isn't playing,
Yeah.
so
So
they'll probably be 3-0.
and who do the Pistons still have to play? I don't know.
So the Pistons must have beat the Raptors and the Pacers.
Or the Heat.
They beat the Raptors right up there. Go up.
No, they would have beaten the Heat. And then one of these teams.
I think it's the Raptors.
Yeah, because they'll play
What's that Raptors
Heat
game?
Raptors.
So who do they still have to play? They play the they played the Raptors again. Yeah.
They haven't played the Pacers yet.
So Pacers. Okay. I mean
Well,
this.
They played the Pacers the first game of the year, but that's not an NBA Cup game.
Yeah. I mean Bucks still that team to beat. Obviously they'll figure it out.
Bucks and Pistons in there.
Yeah.
Then you got Hawks, Celtics. Hawks,
Yeah.
Celtics, Cavs, and Bulls all have one loss in Group C.
Yeah, and the Bulls right now are playing the Wizards, dominating them kind of. So they
I
could go to 2-1 as well.
I think the Celtics beat the Cavs.
Celtics did beat the Cavs. That's the Cavs' only loss. So the Cavs
Who
probably
beat-
play the Hawks.
Who beat the Celtics?
It's the Hawks.
Hawks did.
Yeah. But then who beat the Hawks?
I think the Bulls.
The Bulls did. Oh my God, this is a whirlwind.
Yeah.
That's kind of a crazy little
So
8 saves. That's not gonna do it.
I mean, they got potential here
No, that's
to
potential.
get two teams in.
I will say the Hawks are kind of a unique team to watch. I feel like, talk about streaky. I feel like they give up a ton of points. Like they just only play offense.
Same with the Bulls.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson. If you want to talk gambling, Jalen Johnson, PRA. Book it.
He does pretty well.
He
Same with Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Daniels, yeah, the one time Dyson Daniels is in my doghouse though. The 2 times I bet on him, he's literally played his worst games of his career.
I mean,
1 for 12
yeah,
shooting.
You gotta know that that's coming.
No, I can't have that coming. So then the next one, Western Conference, Chris.
Yeah.
Rockets playing the Timberwolves live. As we speak, Rockets 2-0, Timberwolves, Trailblazers, Clippers 1-1. Kings 0-2, which is crazy because I think if you would have given this division to us, so this group before before the game started,
Mm-hmm.
how would you have mapped out this group?
Wolves, easy.
Okay, yep. So who's second? Clippers?
Probably the Kings.
Okay, so Kings 2,
Yeah.
Clippers 3, or Rockets 3?
Toss up.
Toss
Either
up.
one.
So then the Trailblazers bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the Kings played the Rockets and the Wolves.
The Kings?
So, like,
2 of the
it
better
makes
teams
sense that
Yeah.
they
are 0-2.
are 0-2
Happens.
in theory. So, but the Rockets smacked the Trailblazers, so their point differential is strong. Just depends on if they win tonight, then I think they lock it up.
The Rockets?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause-
they have a plus 49.
Right, that's why they have a strong point differential. The Mavericks also do too. They're plus 41. So once it comes down to the wild card spot,
That's
that
going to be
will
huge.
make a huge difference. Yes.
Yeah. It's big time.
So then you got the Lakers. They play the Suns tonight.
Lakers Suns, big game. I think Durant's back and Beal's back.
Yep.
So that should be a good one. Spurs. OKC. I think the Spurs just beat OKC, didn't they?
They did beat the Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that the Thunder still have to play.
The Suns are the Lakers.
Yeah, at least one, if not both.
Oof.
Not what you want. And
This is the only one down here that we have a team that
Warriors locked
Warriors
in.
locked it in.
Yep.
So Warriors, Mavericks. I mean, this is what's interesting. So the Warriors. So you play what, 4?
4 games.
So you play. Oh, it's point. It must be. Well, here's the thing. So you play 4 games. The Pelicans are eliminated,
Correct.
but the Nuggets are not eliminated. So it must be this point differential because the Pelicans are minus 38. That's what they're taking into consideration. But how would they already be eliminated? What if they scored 150 and gave up 80?
Probably because they lost to the Nuggets.
Did they lose to the Nuggets? So is that the head? Is the head-to-head the first one?
Well,
or is it just straight point difference?
wait, if they lost, yeah, they probably beat the Nuggets.
They lost to the Warriors and the Mavericks. They beat the Nuggets.
Gotcha.
So wouldn't the Nuggets be eliminated? I don't know.
Maybe not technically for the wild card spot.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works. That's just
You would
weird
think
that the one
the
is the 1 and 2.
Grizzlies. We would think that the Grizzlies would be eliminated if they're 0-2.
Yeah, interesting.
Don't know.
I guess we'll wait and see.
One team that you're vibing with lately?
Vibing with
Yeah,
in the East?
just overall.
Oh, overall?
Yeah, you get one team.
One team that I'm vibing with. I would say. Vibing with.
You have 5
Not
seconds.
East, not the Rockets. I would say the Spurs. I do like the Spurs. I think they're solid.
Okay. Why the Spurs?
They're young. They're talented. Well, Popovich has been out. Hopefully he gets back. I don't know if he's back yet, but I think Wemby is stepping up. I will say the one thing I shouldn't say
he was hurt for a while.
he was hurt, but what I'm saying is the one thing I don't vibe with Wemby on
Yeah.
is I think sometimes he tries to just heat check himself too much.
Okay.
If you make 1 3-pointer, so this is for all the kids out there. If you make 1 3-pointer, you don't get to go down and huck it from the logo.
You're not at heat check territory yet?
You're not heat check.
What's the number?
Heat check is 3.
Okay.
So on your fourth,
Like you made 3.
you made 3.
and
But
then
on
you
the
get a
fourth, give it to you.
Okay.
Look at Jaylen Brown did it against the Timberwolves. He made 3, and then on his fourth one was a fadeaway over Rudy Gobert, and it went in. But it was just like, all right,
so
go
then
for
do
it.
you automatically get a 5th?
Ooh, yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Screw it.
Okay.
But once you miss, it's off.
Right.
It's off. Obviously,
Okay,
it goes
so
back.
1 and done.
1 and done.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say the Spurs. I think
So
they're solid.
after 3.
After 3, not 1. You don't make your first 3-pointer and start hucking.
Well, you know.
So there it is.
Okay.
What about you, Chris?
I'll go with the Grizzlies.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Ja's back now.
Needed him.
And so they're getting their pieces back. Scottie Pippen Jr. has been a revelation while Ja's been out. And they got him back. Marcus Smart missed a few games. He's back. Desmond Bane missed a few games. He's back. So they're starting to get healthy, and they're starting to put the pieces together. So, I mean, they've spent the last 2 years injured. So
Injured /
it's nice that for them that they've found some young guys that they can play while their big names are out and like figure it out for the time being.
Yeah. No, I think they're solid. Yeah, I mean, Ja Morant is. I feel like people forget how special Ja Morant is.
Correct.
I mean, that kid is special.
Yes.
That man is special. Not that kid. Sorry, not a kid.
He's pretty young. Okay, give me one player that you're vibing with
Lonzo
lately.
Ball. I just looked it up. Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball.
31 points per game, 7 assists per game, 5 rebounds.
I don't think that's right. Lonzo Ball.
No, LaMelo Ball. Yeah, not Lonzo Ball. Sorry, wrong Ball, brother. I was like, I just looked it up. Yeah, no, I think he's playing well. I mean, here's the thing: is the problem is they're the worst. They might be one of the worst teams.
Not as bad as they have been.
Not as bad as they have been. Brandon Miller's pretty solid. The thing about it is, it's the same thing with him. He's young. His game has not changed one bit from high school to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
He still does cute little crossovers and then a step back 1-footed 3-pointer and it goes in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, I don't think they'll finish. They might win 30 games. Might. So they'll kind of be irrelevant come halfway through the season, but he's fun to watch if he can stay healthy.
So what do you make of him getting benched that one game?
I love it. He needed it. He's still a kid that needs to grow up. But I also don't mind the benching part of it. I think it's
Really?
yes, 100%. I think
Wow.
coaches should do it more often to players.
It's their best player
Yes.
in a 1-point game.
Sure, it's still early. You guys, here's the thing: the Hornets will not make the playoffs.
So don't you think that
Teach them a lesson.
winning that game is important for them?
Well, every game is important. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is,
Right,
they'll
but they're
teach
gonna have
them
a
lesson.
lot. They're gonna have a lot of games that they're not even close.
Yeah, but I bet you he doesn't do it the rest of the year.
What did he do?
Wasn't he just mouthing off, and wasn't he not getting back on defense?
He jacked up a shot and then had a fast break foul.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean,
That's what boiled it over.
yeah, there's probably more to it. I mean, you watch the kid play, you kind of know what you're getting. I mean, the guy's, what is he, 21 years old?
Same draft as Ant.
Yeah, but he was, what, 1 year?
Same age as Ant, I believe. 22?
22?
Yeah, because instead of 1 year in college,
He went
like
overseas.
Ant, he went overseas, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at these numbers, though.
Yeah, I love it.
Putting up
Second
numbers.
round
23.
pick on my,
23.
second round pick on my fantasy basketball team.
Yeah, as he should, if he can stay healthy. So, that's my guy. Rock with him. I mean, they'll be irrelevant in about 20 games, so.
Okay.
Get
It's
it while
true.
you can.
It's
Enjoy it while you can.
My guy, I'm gonna go with. Gotta go with Christian Brown. Gotta show him some love. Show him some love, baby. He has been awesome. Scored 10 points in every single game this year.
Yep.
This is his first year starting, so he stepped his game up there. He's scored at least 10 points every single game. He elevated his game when Jokic was out, and he's just been a solid contributor for the Nuggets. So
Yeah, that's an interesting team, the Nuggets.
yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it. Yeah, they're definitely all over the place. They obviously started slow, and I think the difference with them is, I mean, they have talented guys. They're just, I think the hard part for them is Christian Brown coming off the bench used to be like the guy where it's like, okay, he's a solid player.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have, what's his name, Strother from Gonzaga, I think he is.
Julian Strawther, yeah.
Julian Strother or something. I just think their starting lineup is good. I just don't think they have a lot more depth and stuff like that. So they're and they're just run all the way through Jokic. I think Jamal Murray has kind of been a little bit. What is this lady doing?
Played well last game. 11 rebounds and assists.
Jamal Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, he definitely has his games. I just think sometimes they need him to do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. It's still early on in the year.
It's true.
See. Maybe he does his free throws.
Why not? Maybe it's his.
I think that's his
Mom.
mom. Interesting. So, yeah, one player, one thing. We'll see what happens. I mean, early on in the year, I mean, here's a question. If you win the NBA Cup, do you think that gives you momentum? Or do you think it's just like, it's just another tournament game, whatever?
I don't think it's just another tournament game. It's $500,000 worth.
No. I'm saying besides the money part. I'm saying is it momentum based? Like, so if you win it, if there was no money behind it, there is.
I don't think they would care.
They don't care. Okay. But so it's like, even if you win it, do you think that gives you more? Because what was it? Lakers won it last year?
Yes.
So, okay.
And they didn't make playoffs.
so
So no momentum for that.
So we are now, so we'll see. What maybe the team that wins it this year, if they don't make the playoffs, maybe it's bad. Bad omen.
It's possible.
So we'll see. Yeah. I don't know. We didn't say it, but we were thinking it. So.
I mean, making the playoffs is pretty different than like making it far into the playoffs.
Oh, 100%. I mean, what is there? 4 teams from each.
That don't make the play in.
That is crazy.
No,
to
it's
me.
more than that. 5.
5? Yeah, but 5
10.
teams.
11, 12, 13, 14.
5 teams that don't make it. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated
It would not be good.
to not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now, there might be a few, what would you say? What would you call that? Coaching changes. A few little here, a few little there. Player changes, yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see. You got to start going to games, Chris. I think that's why the Wolves are struggling.
January 2nd, first game.
Yeah, damn.
The only problem is it's against the Celtics. So I think last year I only saw like 2-3 losses out of like 18 games.
Hey, they could beat the Celtics. Wait, are you already projecting that they don't win that game?
No.
Okay.
I'm just cautiously approaching the game.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're keeping your hopes a little lower than most?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, tough game.
Some would say one of the toughest.
Yeah. Some would say maybe the toughest.
Some would say.
But we only lost by 2 points last game.
Yeah, we almost won it.
So
So we almost did win, which was
Possible.
nice.
anything is possible.
Yeah. Who said that?
KG.
That boy. Who did he play for? Celtics
Wolves.
and the Celtics. It's crazy. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right.
That's all we got.
There you go.
It's wrapped. It's wrapped and
Delivered.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Eat a lot. Last thing, Chris. What? Oh, you don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You celebrate Thanksgiving. You don't do celebrate. I was gonna ask you what's your favorite Thanksgiving like dishes, but you guys do like.
Thanksgiving dish. Cheese potatoes.
Okay. Wait, so you guys do it?
I mean, every holiday is not complete without cheese potatoes.
That's true. So that you would say is that your first round pick just from
First round pick, yeah.
Nice. I do like cheesy potatoes.
What's your first round pick?
I would probably say mac and cheese or cheesy potatoes. I'm not much of a like. I like turkey. I don't like ham. Stuffing, no.
Wait, do you guys have both?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's 45 people at our event.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yes.
That'd be a lot.
It's two turkeys,
that'd
one
be
ham.
pretty aggressive.
It's very aggressive. Yeah, I got to bring a case of beer. That's what I'm responsible for.
Wow, what kind are you going with?
Coors Light, baby.
Okay,
Coors Light.
interesting.
That's what the people drink. That's what they assign me with. Got to know your role.
Okay,
So there it is. Signed, sealed,
look at that.
delivered.
See you guys later.
Peace. It's 2,000, almost 2,300 points.
Coors Light, eh?
Oh yeah, that's what the old people drink. Also, Nas Reed, that a boy. He already hit.
That's huge.
That is big time.
You want to know one that I had?
Hit.
Nope, not looking good. Sangoon, 9.5 rebounds.
Sangoon.
Yeah, he's
Dang,
got,
we only have 47 points.
he's got 3. That's
He
why
only has 2 points.
I know.
Jabari Smith.
That's why.
Fan Floyd.
That's why I kind of groaned when Amen Thompson grabbed the defensive rebound on the missed free throw. It's like, what the fuck is Sangoon doing then?
Where is a man? Is he there 4? No, Jabari Smith is there 4.
Amen Thompson comes off the bench.
Yeah, but if this is your lineup, why is Amen Thompson even on the free throw thing? Is he the third guy?
He's probably on the top, and so he came in and
Ugh.
he probably hit the back rim, came